Henrico County, Virginia, former NICU nurse Erin Strotman will remain in jail as the court waits for the findings of a mental health evaluation, Henrico County Circuit Court Judge Richard S. Wallerstein Jr. decided Wednesday morning. Strotman appeared in person for the 50-minute bond appeal hearing after a Henrico judge denied her release last week, citing safety concerns. Strotman's attorney, Jeff Everhart, said the results of a mental health evaluation performed at the jail weren't sent to him in time for Wednesday's hearing. Judge Wallerstein requested that Everhart set up a psychological evaluation by a third party and to hear those results at a hearing scheduled for next month. Strotman is accused of causing multiple fractures to a 5-month-old baby boy on November 10, 2024, at Henrico Doctors Hospital. Prosecutor Allison Martin said 2 additional babies were found with fractures the following month, but no additional charges have been filed against Strotman yet. The first baby was found on December 17, 2024, with multiple fractures. The second baby was found on December 24, 2024, with a rib fracture. Martin said the Commonwealth's child abuse expert, Dr. Robin Foster, with the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU, dated those fractures as occurring during the time when Strotman would have been providing care to all 3 babies. Martin noted that the recent fractures bear similarities to incidents involving 4 other infants at the same NICU between August 5th and September 18th, 2023. Strotman was placed on paid administrative leave in 2023 after the hospital conducted an internal investigation into the initial 4 cases. Martin said she returned to work in the NICU on September 17, 2024. Child Protective Services and Henrico Police also investigated but were unable to identify a perpetrator. Martin said their investigation was unfortunately delayed and encountered problems because the hospital did not report the fractures to CPS until September 21st of 2023. Martin says Strotman posed a threat to herself and others when she argued against bond. Prosecutor Allison Martin shared text messages from Strotman that showed evidence of Strotman's alleged mental health and substance abuse issues. In one of the text messages from October 21st, 2023, Strotman stated she had been pacing, felt up like I did cocaine again, but she had not, and had self-diagnosed herself with borderline personality disorder. She wrote, "I feel manic. It takes everything in me not to start," according to Martin. On the day before she was arrested, Martin says Strotman wrote in a text, "My therapist's office is closed. I am 5 seconds away from checking myself into crisis." Martin says Strotman sees a psychiatrist and counselor and takes 2 medications for anxiety and depression. Judge Wallerstein said those details concerned him when taking into consideration her bond status. However, Everhart said his client is not a flight risk and would be safer in her parents' gated community. He mentioned Strotman is 26 years old and doesn't have a criminal record. He said she intended to visit the Henrico Police Department to talk to investigators, but was arrested a day before. Dominique Hackey's son, Noah, was one of the babies injured at the hospital in September of 2023. He said he felt the need to be in the courtroom for Strotman's bond appeal hearing. "I feel anger that I have to be here to show up for my son, for the rest of the 2023 babies, because somebody abused our children," Hackey told reporters after court. Strotman was placed on paid administrative leave in 2023 after the hospital conducted an internal investigation into the initial cases. Prosecutors said CPS and Henrico Police investigated but were unable to identify a single perpetrator. Now, investigators have reopened Noah's case. "I'm confident in Henrico Commonwealth's attorneys Shannon Taylor, Allison, and their ability to be able to get our babies justice," Hackey stated. Strotman's continued bond appeal hearing is set for February 11th at 8 a.m. in Henrico Circuit Court. Prosecutors says Strotman should face additional charges after the grand jury meets in March. They mentioned detectives are combing through every minute of surveillance video from when the former nurse was alone with babies. Martin also said she was concerned about Strotman's potential release because a witness had come forward with evidence that Strotman had applied to care for their child when she was on leave from Henrico Doctors Hospital between September 2023 and September 2024. She said Strotman told the family she was placed on leave due to tuberculosis exposure. "I have concerns about her ability to be truthful," Martin told the judge. Everhart said his client had been in isolation at the jail and that is hard to deal with. He said he does not get a sense she is contemplating self-harm and he believed bond is appropriate. When the judge asked if Strotman still had her nursing license and if she could voluntarily surrender it, Everhart said she still had her license, and if the court wanted him to check with the nursing board if she could voluntarily surrender it, he would do that. Everhart says Strotman would live with her parents where there were no vulnerable adults or children in the home. Strotman's continued bond appeal hearing is set forth for February 11th at 8 a.m. in Henrico Circuit Court. Prosecutor says Strotman should face additional charges after the grand jury meets in March. They mentioned detectives are combing through every minute of surveillance video from when the former nurse was alone with babies. So I think for multiple reasons, her bond should continue to be denied. But one of the really concerning ones would be that when she was already placed on leave from the hospital, she still tried to go independently care for children and said the reason she was on leave from the hospital was tuberculosis exposure. I don't think she should have obviously access to children or any vulnerable person. And I just think her bond should stay revoked. But let me know what you think in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.